Good evening, free enterprise fans, and welcome to the second day of Round of 64 brackets. I am Alicel, and I am joined here by Zoe, the Red Witch Vermilion. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. My chair seems to have a bunch of like half-eaten buttons. I'm not sure why that is. Uh, but I'm happy to be here. Round of 64, exciting matchup between rhybon and Cubsrule. Two of the premier players coming out of the Pink Puff League, which was kind of our newbie community club in the off season that Oscar put together. And rhybon coming right out the gate, right after PPL, straight into the qualifiers, getting a top 16 seed, putting himself in position to draft and drafting his fellow Pink Puff in Cubsrule. So this is going to be exciting.
Yep, I am looking for a fun match tonight. We've got some interesting objectives of defeat Evil Wall and launch the Falcon. So we have a boss hunt, and we have to find the hook, as well as our 3 static objectives: defeat Wyvern, complete Cave Bahamut, and have Cocal Forge.
Yeah, that number 5 is a very interesting objective. This is one of the situations where you want it to be a hook route. You don't want to see that magma key because you want to be able to get your underground access and just get a free objective while you're at it. If we see a magma key, then that means that hook could be buried on the moon or in sealed cave or somewhere that's just really out of the way. And maybe if you luck out, I guess luck is not exactly the right word. You could find an evil wall on that hook route as well and knock both of those out. But that would be a little nasty. But I guess it depends on who our starting character is. They're hiding it from us, I think. We haven't seen who it is.
How very rude.
Yeah, very, very rude here. But yeah, the 3 static objectives, a boss hunt, a moon objective that will not reward a key item because K-Summon is off, and then just your forge, 2 terminal key items. A nice mix here. We've seen a lot of earth-heavy seeds in the qualifiers, despite what my analysis should have shown. So who knows? Maybe math is wrong. So maybe we'll see some more moon. That is a Lunarian.
That's a moon character.
Yeah, so a Fusoya start. For those who haven't looked closely at the flag set, Fusoya is not available in the seed except as a starting character. So a Fusoya hero, and it's an old man start. Okay. Oh, wow, okay. Well.
This is actually pretty spicy. Fu does not have the advantage of having all of his spells to start. You do have to earn those spells through boss fights.
Yeah, and he doesn't start with particularly any good spells. It's a random assortment that he starts with, so maybe he doesn't even start with an offensive spell, and Tella's spells don't do enough damage to really kill any bosses early, so we're going to be leaning on, need to find some J items, or like if we could luck into a Stardust rod, that would be great. But yeah, this early looting is going to be real important because we have basically 0 offense.
And it looks like Cubsrule is going to go see who the Mist boss is, probably go ahead and take it on and gain 3 more spells.
Oh, yeah, this will be free. Fu does bonk decently well, and the Mist Cave boss doesn't have a lot of hit points, so with Bahamut here taking his dear sweet time to try and kill us, this will be a free fight.
Meanwhile, we see rhybon doing the more traditional looting route of Watery Pass. A Thunderclaw, that's always nice.
We got Size, Cure 1, and Charm, so not a good assortment of spells there, but looting Mist Cave is also really strong. It is weighted very similarly to how Watery Pass is because it's out of the way. Finding an Elven Bow and a Dancing Dagger. Let's see what else are in these last 2 chests. Silk Web is huge. You cannot buy J items in stores, so having a Silk Web for your Z fight, there we go. That is fantastic. Oh, sorry. I was going to warn everybody that exiting at a Mist Cave does that yellow flash, regardless of whether or not you have your flash effects off. So apologies to everyone. I got excited by this Silk Web.
We do see a Strength Ring there in the Damsian basement.
and a rune axe as well. So if we can find a Sid or a Cane, we'll be in good position. And there's a water hag, so a free fight here in the waterfall. Fu with that sorcerer robe and diamond ring equipped is not going to take a whole lot of damage. So 3 bonks, and that's more spells. Cubs making plays for spells here, and it's paying off so far with these easy bosses.
Absolutely. That means Fu is that much closer to learning something a little more useful.
Yeah, any level 2 spell here gets this seed underway. And it's pretty likely that he'll probably get one based off how the randomization works, unless it was just incredibly rude generation. And it's been incredibly rude. We got Piggy, I think that was Blink and Warp. So not what we want to see. Also, Waterfall Cave has decently weighted loot as well. And we find a crystal armor, aka a big old stack of money.
Money is also always good in these flags because there are still things you want to buy.
Yeah, being able to buy good equipment is very good. So landing into a couple of pricey pieces you can sell and flip and turn into either some good arrows or maybe some long swords if you come across an edge, or even like a charm rod for your black mages is good. But rhybon's going to go down Antlion. I'm not sure what his plan is. I guess he maybe found a couple of G items, whereas Cubs is going to go up Hobbs and find Iridia and another free fight. That's 3 relatively free fights early. That doesn't bode well for the later part of the seed.
And rhybon picked up a very nice piece of equipment. Well, not equipment, but did pick up a Leviathan summon in Antlion Cave.
Ooh.
So that Rydia can go burr.
Yeah, this Rydia here will be fine. Looks like food does start with at least Ice 1, and with Ruby's Cape open, food stats is going to hit for quite a bit until it will finish it off. So rhybon has our first key item check location done. Let's see what we get. Tower key. All right.
Well, we don't have to worry about doing half tower right now, but not immediately useful.
Yeah, and looking over on Cub's side, we have a bunch of frogs. I think that must have been a recall from Tella rolling Toad and landing it. Recall is a pretty interesting skill. Most of the time it'll use a like a level 1 attack spell. Sometimes it'll just fizzle, and other times it'll hit with like AoE frog, AoE weak. It's a pretty high rolly skill, and he loses it when you beat or deals. So using it early on fights like this, why not? Let's go for it.
And we got a whole chunk of experience on that Rydia. Hopefully that's enough MP to cast Leviathan if Cubs picks that up.
Cubs, again, going to loot a decently weighted location that's behind a boss here on Hobbs. Has exit, I don't hate it, but he did take a peek at that Fu spell list. Still has yet to learn a level 2 spell, but finds a ninja hat, so that is pretty nice. And there were some samurai arrows, so at least back row this this bonk man and see what happens.
Yep, being level 50, he does put out a little bit of damage with that bonk stick.
Yeah, it's a lunar staff. It's not the worst from an attacks value standpoint. Decent accuracy. It doesn't have a ton of multipliers, but Cub's gonna show us the summon on Hobbs, and it's Indra. So that's some AoE lightning damage. Not the best. I personally would reset out of this because I rarely find use for these because they're so slow. But when you don't have any level 2 spells on your Fu yet, maybe this gets you through something at the full defense.
And speaking of the full defense, rhybon is heading straight up there. Not going to do the Rivers Special and Fade Fabul.
Yep. Cubs is looting at least some here. I don't remember which chest the Leviathan summon was in. Hopefully he hits it. It's going to feel real bad if he doesn't. And oh, there's a Val. I don't have my chart handy. I think that's annoying.
And Cubs did not pick up that Leviathan summon.
All right, that so that could matter here. That Leviathan does hit. Okay, so he does not have full magic to evade here, but it only did 780. I don't think Rydia has enough MP to use it again to try and get the kill, so we may be seeing a reset here. I guess you could Lilith rot away Foo's MP by putting it on Rydia to get another use of Leviathan.
And that looks like what rhybon is trying to do.
Yep, that looks to be exactly what's going on. This is a big brain play. Going to take Tella's MP. Yeah, that gives us enough for another Leviathan cast. That is something that I would expect to see out of a seasoned runner, and rhybon just showing that coming out of Pink Buff, he knows his stuff. That's impressive.
And we'll see if this second Leviathan cast is enough to take out this Valvalis.
And if not, you've still got Foo to drain of MP. Yeah, not quite. So we're getting the blink up. Foo can, if you can get the Lilith Staff onto Fusoya, drain his MP, you'll get one more cast, which should hopefully do it. Meanwhile, Cubs awakening the hovercraft has his starter hook, obviously, so he can pick this up and carry it. If he wants to go peek that character early, maybe peek the King Queen boss. I just remembered, we've also seen King Queen Eblin. They were in the Baigan spot. So we've seen the majority of what we consider to be our free fights.
That does not bode well for, say, the moon or any of these hard hook locations.
Nope, not at all. Gonna buy some Cure 3 potions here. I don't hate it. You really don't want to be using Cure spells with Foo or Tella. Tella's better utility mage, and Foo is definitely good for casting for damage once you get something like Virus, Quake, or Nuke. Cub's gonna go ahead, loot out some stuff here, and show us who's in the Baron Inn. What do we got? We have a turtle and a small black mage. I know Invin's around somewhere. Turtle!
This is looking to be one of those parties that you just have all casters all the time.
Yeah, oops all casters. And oops all casters with the Foo hero is pretty interesting unless you manage to get a curse string. His basically static 20 agility does not bode well for getting casters to RA1, but fortunately, because it is static, you can get a couple levels on him, and as long as you have that curse string, you can slap it down, and then it's basically the perfect anchor. But you're also nerfing his ability to do a ton of damage via nuke, so it's this weird toss-up where he makes such an interesting hero, and probably, in my opinion, the most interesting hero for those reasons. And a lot of people feel that Foo is overpowered, and while he can be, I feel like it's worse when there's not equal access to him. So being the only chance you can find him as a starter character, it's both runners are going to have him. You can't get rid of him. I want to see how this plays out, because I think this is our first match across all the qualifiers and matches so far here in brackets that have had a Foo hero.
And speaking of that Foo hero, after defeating that turtle, getting Ice 3 and then getting Meteo.
Yeah, we got some swag rocks. We got a pass. Oh man, can we get, like, as much as I want us to go to a hard required LST, because that's what my math said should happen on a coin flip. I also kind of want us to get go mode without a darkness crystal, so like our runners have to make the decision to be creative with their grind or hunt out that darkness crystal for machine. I want to see a hard choice here.
I want to see some self trap chests.
Oh, that'd be so good. You can get this Palom up to Quake, curse your foo. You can take out those trap chests pretty easily. They are not an insignificant amount of experience.
And rhybon going and getting this water hag. We'll see if he wants to go and take on that pretty easy, all things considered, Baron Inn.
Yeah, absolutely. Cubs is going to go ahead and dive down here. Finds the encounter chest first chest, so free looting throughout the rest of Cave Eblin. You love to see it if you're a loot goblin like me. So, Cubs, are you gonna take it? Yeah, they are weak to ice. Okay. I guess he remembered. Oh wait, these guys are weak to ice. I have ice 3. What are we talking about?
It's kind of like when you open the fridge back up and completely forget what you're getting. And then you're like, oh, wait.
What are we going to get? A Cure 3.
That is exceptionally rude.
That is a new one for me. All right. All right. Well, let's see what's in these shops. Good thing is Cubs can buy a Leviathan summon here if there is one, and there's 2. So,
Would you like the top one or the bottom one?
Yeah, top shelf Leviathan or bottom shelf Leviathan. They're the same thing, and the cost is the same. But if you buy the one on the top shelf, you get to be smug about it.
Get your free smugs in chat.
We may have some tech issues on rhybon's side. We are working to figure them out. And by we, I mean Yobari behind the scenes, our wonderful restreamer for tonight. And also shout outs to Lumeria Knight doing the tracking.
Yep, they're both doing an awesome job, doing all the hard work, so me and Zoe can just chit-chat.
Yep. See if we can find anything else interesting here. We're finding a whole bunch of heavy armor, but not much in the way of good mage equipment. We would love to see some charm rods, some black shirts, or some sorcerer robes, some rune rings. Nothing doing. It's like they gave us all mages and then gave us all the melee and archer equipment.
Yeah, all I'm seeing here is money.
Yep, lots and lots of money. Which, if you find some of those things in underground shops, then you have a bunch of stuff to sell to buy and equip your mages here. Let's see.
I think we just got a full set of fire gear.
I think we did, including the sword. That was oh, there's the curse string. All right, so there's another one. All right, so our agility situation is solved if the strategy that we want to take into Romus is okay with Fu not doing a ton of damage. That is usually better done with Berserkers, or if you happen to be able to get both this Rydia and this Palom to nuke, then your Fu is just supplemental damage from there. That's really exciting to see. The Ninja Sword also good if we get an edge, but we found a Derek Mist and a Porum.
So this is the Grandpa and Small Child Club?
Yeah. Yeah. We got the twins. We've got their slightly older sister, and then we have 2 grandpas. And sometimes that's all a family is.
And this is a... Oh, go ahead.
Baka, there's a Rosa left to get. Baka says there aren't any mages left to get except Punch Mage. Excuse me, there's a Rosa.
Cecil's sort of a white mage. He can cast white spells.
He can cast Cure 2, Heal, and Exit. I don't know what his other spells are because I've never once cast them. Hey, Rydia can also fight too, Baka. She can wear the Zeus gauntlet when she grows up.
Let Rydia hit things. But Cub's not feeling super confident on trying to take on that D-Mist. Yeah, that's not a great spot for that, especially with this party.
Let's go to Ordeals. Let's see if we can get Nuke. I think that's the thought here. Yeah, easy, Vodka. Zeus Gauntlet, Headband, Dragon Whip. There you go. Plus 20 strength.
And
Oh,
Ordeals
Cubs hasn't
is...
done the Val fight yet.
Oh, yes. Probably going to have a little bit of an easier time with it. Has a little bit more XP on that Rydia, so hopefully has enough to cast 2 Leviathans.
I mean, he's got Ice 3 on Fu. I don't think Leviathan's going to be happening.
I would have to see the chart.
Well, the Leviathan was hitting for like 500 to 800. Leviathan normally for that level of Rydia probably hits for something like 22 to 23, and the Ice 3, I guess it did hit a weakness on Kainatsu. Maybe 1 or 2 of them. Should be fine. It's not 254 here. I thought it was 170 here.
Rydia's just going to try and do nothing.
Yeah, it's still 1488. So not a one-shot, but nearly.
I'm just glad it got through the magic defense.
Yeah. Didn't that time. That was some real bad rolls.
Little damage.
That is the biggest variance I think I've ever seen between 2 casts of the same spell. 192 compared to 1488.
Let's see. That's a middle of the road.
Yep, that was just about in the middle.
And Palom getting all of his tier 3. Was that a little mini slingshot on Palom and Porum?
It might have been, yeah. We also got Virus on Fu. That's really nice. Also, an update for people watching. We are bringing rhybon stream back up, but it's about 5.5 minutes behind, according to our restreamer. So that's not going to matter too much now. But when we get towards the end, if things look tight, keep that in mind.
But looks like rhybon is taking on this Leviathan in the Baron Inn.
And going to see Leviathan pointing at Leviathan.jpg.
I don't know. That big wave from Rydia was a lot bigger than the big wave from Leviathan.
Yeah, that's true. And on to Ordeals. We get 3 more bosses worth of spells. Fu is 7 bosses away from having everything, so we're in nuke range. I believe you can start getting nuke at either 12 or 1300 HP. You get those spells, so it's possible. 3 bosses here that we can walk away with nuke and make that demist a whole lot safer.
And if not, there's always rocks, which
Yep.
are so effective on demist.
I would say, which you don't want to cast on demist, but there's also the King Queen spot, which is a 4th boss that we'll fight on route there. So. Up Mount Ordeals, still not finding a ton. Still finding a bunch of melee equipment.
All that equipment for not appearing in the seed.
So far, that is right. And we have Octomam. Not sure how she's swimming through the bridge, but I am too afraid to ask. Also, she's on the bridge. Why is the background stone? This has never occurred to me before.
Maybe they step back so that they're not fighting directly on the bridge to be kind to their opponent?
I'll buy it. There's nuke. All right, so right now, we did see rhybon take down the waterfall spot. I don't know if he took down the mist cave spot in the interim, so We'll find out. Actually, no, yeah, he's got 1200 HP on his foo, so he's about to get nuke as well.
Yep. Both runners right about in the same spot, although Cubs does have that Porum from the cave. That guard just had a really bad time.
Yeah. And our runners are getting further set up for a bad time because this is another free boss off the table. All that remains at this point, for locations that maybe could be on the moon or what have you, are the Dark Imps, and then Calbrena, depending on certain definitions of the word free.
I mean, we have rocks, so
Yeah.
I think they're free everywhere.
Yeah, we're also about to get second rocks, so we can find a Soma drop. King Queen is at the Bygant spot. We saw King Queen at the opening of the seed.
But Fu not going to have any problems taking on whatever is here in a firebomb.
Yeah, for sure. Just having access to nuke here. Is this Bygant? This is actually kind of funny. You may want to multicast Virus here instead, or just use a firebomb. So use the firebomb that was gifted to you by, I guess, your brother, because you're Fu, and it's Kluya, supposedly. So, brother, take this firebomb, defeat this snake-armed man.
And Fu's like, I don't want this trash. Here, you have it.
And okay, rhybon went with what I thought was the strategy, which was multicasting Virus, which didn't work out, which is actually kind of bad right now. Please realize that you have something to use. Okay, Stardust. I was like, oh boy, this could go south really quickly if you don't have a J item. Fortunately, we did.
But both our runners have gotten through Mount Ordeals, and I think that's about everything left on the overworld.
Yeah, unless we want to go take on the boss that's at Maga Sisters for maybe looking for cheeky Evil Wall or Wyvern, just for an early objective. We are en route to that hook route and to take on that D-Mist at the Ruby spot. Still don't know what's waiting for us at King Queen. Could be DKC, which isn't too terribly bad with a Fu in the party. Could also just be something that punches very, very hard. But Nuke will make quick work of pretty much anything that could be there.
And we only see a dupe there in the package, so hopefully there's no cheeky Wyvern or Evil Wall, because I have a feeling our runners will do everything else other than that.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing about boss objectives is when that package character is a dupe, you are foregoing a boss check. It's a long boss check to be sure, but you would want that to be someone that you wanted, like a Cecil or maybe an Edge, because you have like a ninja sword and you could use them to steal sirens. That would have made it go, okay, cool, I can both get a character and a boss check. So if it is Wyvern or Evil Wall, then I'm not going to be punished for fading this. So if the seed drags on and it starts to get to very few boss locations, don't be surprised if one of our runners does gamble and goes and checks that. rhybon, finding this encounter chest, going to take it out as well, get his Cure 3 for his trouble, while Cubs is into the upper portion of the Tower of Babel.
And finding that monster chest immediately.
What in the world are these encounter chest locations? Just like, they're real eager. Do we have size on food? That's my question. Ooh, we do. Okay, it's right at the start. Cubs and I both were like, oh, we don't have it. Oh, wait, we do.
Of course, our entire party has died in the meantime, but
If you land the size, they'll start hitting for just 1 damage, and you can slowly bring people back up, and then you can swag rock.
I was going to say, but what about the life glitch? Oh yeah, that's not in this tournament.
Nope, it is not on in this tournament. The Car Smash, another one of our top players here in ZZ4, mentioning to know if it's worth taking this when you already have Nuke. I could see that. Getting Quake onto Palom, or at least getting Palom closer to Quake, I think there is still value there if you run across a multi-unit fight at the King Queen spot, just to clean it up a bit faster. But there's no such thing as too much experience, except when there is, but that's a conversation for InVen.
Overwhelming power.
Yep. Which, in this flag set, there is no such thing as too many levels because Fu's agility isn't going to change anyway, which is the one thing that you wouldn't want to overlevel, because your Anger's agility, your hero's agility could get out of whack.
But rhybon has gotten his Porum and free Ashura. And gonna go ahead and go down the tower. Is not going to take that trap chest.
Yeah, so rhybon, again, bit of a delay between them, but as far as what we can see on our screen, overtaking Cubs here, just by virtue of not taking this encounter chest. Let's see if Cubs gets something good on top of this experience, because there is no life glitch, so you're only getting about 9,400. Maybe we'll land a decent piece of gear, like a crystal sword. Okay, if we can find a sea soul, we may no longer be an all mage party.
Yeah, just yeet one of the children.
I would eat Tella. You already have better Tella.
That's true. Eat Tella.
And if not, you can sell it. Sell the crystal sword to buy more mage equipment. There is still value in that. Yes, Emily, or assert dominance and trash it. Do that as well.
Don't trash the crystal sword.
You can feed it to the big chocobo, like our restreamer said.
No.
Look, I have given a big chocobo a crystal sword, a Aegis shield, a power shirt, a ninja hat, a Zeus gauntlet, and an Avenger, so that that big chocobo could be the Crystal Avenger Paladin that it always wanted to be. Also, Antlion, without Nuke, this would be real nasty, because this spot is very punchy, as you can see.
Antlion Angie.
Yeah, you need to get this Nuke out. I don't think Nuke's going to one-shot it, because it's got about 8k HP here. Remembering my chart correctly, that did 7k. Okay, so it's got about 7k. All right, we made it through. 6k? Okay.
And it looks like Cubs is taking some random encounters, wants a little bit more experience on probably the children.
I'm being corrected by 2 people that it was 6k HP. There's a reason that both of you drafted and I did not.
D-Mist also pretty punchy.
Yeah, the Ruby spot is no slouch, and it doesn't look like rhybon came in here trying to get an RA1 setup. Wants to keep this Fu hitting as hard as possible with these nukes. That could potentially backfire. We'll need to see. I know he bought one of these 2 runners bought a stack of Ether 2s. I think it may have been Cubs. So we'll see if that ends up mattering.
And Cubs has an entire party of hurt characters, but did get that size off on that Mad Ogre.
I'm curious what Cubs is fishing for here. Is he just trying to fish for Quake to make things a bit safer? Get experience from the King Queen spot.
That would be my guess. Yep, only brought up the Palom, so looking for Quake.
And there it is. Gonna go ahead and drop a save here. Guess we'll bring some of these people back to life.
I don't think Cubs has any tents or cabins.
I know we saw them in the Fabul shop, I believe, but I believe that is when he purchased the Ether 2s and then some arrows. I think they were charm arrows. And didn't save any money for some camping gear. But it's not going to be that big of a deal because once we clear Antline, you do get a free full heal before the Ruby spot. So we'll be able to get back all of our HP and MP. Yep, sleep Pelham. Sleep Tella. And sleep Porum. And sleep Antline. Okay.
I was like, are they all going to go down?
Okay. So rhybon making use of that Lilithstaff once again to refuel Usoya to get a few more nukes out of him. Running mighty low on small children to use as like bodyguards though. We had a very, very low key item overworld, I just noticed. Starter hook, the package, and the tower key is the extent of what we found there.
I hope everything's on the moon.
I hope so too.
Or somehow we managed to roll a K-trap and everything's in Sylph Cave.
Look, stop revealing secrets for the next tournament. Fine. That was a joke. Everybody, that was a joke. Just before I A, get yelled at, or B, get people's hopes up, that was a joke. Cubs goes, let's reset.
But rhybon is our first runner underground. And we'll see where he goes next.
Yeah, and rhybon through, sees, looks like Mom Bomb there. Cubs coming back into D-Mist and still very punchy.
Those were dimps. That is our last free check.
So, my apologies. The stream I'm watching on was a bit artifacty. All I saw was a red blob. So I assumed Mom Bomb. So yeah, last free fight. But there we go. rhybon, first objective on the board. Launch the Falcon. Needs to complete 3 more to get his crystal. Let's see where he goes next. Don't forget D-Mist. Don't forget D-Mist.
And rhybon is going to do one of my favorite plays in the game. And going to go ahead and clear out tower key check and top of tower check so that you use the Enterprise to drill a hole through the earth. It's the little things that make me happy.
Yep, absolutely. Maybe he'll pull off the Vermilion Gambit and make me happy. And by happy, I mean sad, because no one should ever do that. But yeah, I like this play. I like going right into the tower. You know that it's a free fight. You've got the tower key in hand. Let's do it. But part of me, every time there's a D-Mist on the hook route, you have to go through that long cutscene. The further, like the longer you go, and without checking Rydia's mom, the more likely you are to forget. And I just don't want to see something there that either one of our runners forget and it end up being really important, because that would be incredibly unfortunate.
And Cubs has gotten through that D-Mist.
Yep, absolutely. see how we take out these DMs. I'm guessing that we're gonna see a couple stone casts queued up from Tella and Fu, assuming Tella doesn't get bonked. The physical attack here isn't super high, but Tella is not super defensive.
Are you saying that our old man is squishy?
I mean, human beings are squishy in general. Yes, he's squishy. He got punched in one shot. Does that count as me being a witch? I don't know.
I think that Tella is still base level.
So too. I think he's just been punched down in every fight. Oh, yeah, I think he got experience from the Mist Cave boss and from Water Hag. I think that may have been it. I think he's died in every other fight. Well, there's a Legend Sword.
That's like half of an objective.
Yeah. Why am I getting so pleased by Scala?
Maybe the tower key spot will be the other half of Forge. That would be fun.
That would be a very eventful tower. I have no idea what I did. Scala is scaring me. Also, hi, karate. There's our mom bomb.
Yang, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah, this is the dark AU where instead of Yang stopping the explosion, Yang causes the explosion. But now we get to check back down, and we'll see if we get more value out of this tower than just the Legend Sword. Meanwhile, Cubs fighting the Mom Bomb over in the Dancing Calbrena spots. We should have the firepower to kill her before she explodes. A couple of nukes here. Yeah, there we go.
That's always so satisfying.
All right, come on, show us Cecil. Show us a Cecil. Oh, there's a Lunar Sparkle. That could be Wyvern. Not. Okay, I made the mistake of using the word show.
And we get a Baron key from the tower key check.
Indeed. Which will lead to that King Queen Evelyn, so you know that part's free. Not like there's much not on the moon that isn't free when you have a new King Fu. But it's also a Pale Dim, so it wasn't the Wyvern we were looking for. So we'll see if Luca has anything interesting around her neck today.
I think I'm going to take Nuking Fu for my craft brew name.
And there's the Adamant. Okay, so just slightly delayed. We have Forge now.
What does Fu get for Forge?
So,
I don't even know.
So I can't remember the exact two items off the top of my head. I think he gets one of each from Rydia and Palom. Palom and Porum, I believe. I think he gets access to the Triton Dagger and... Oh no, he gets Nirvana and Asura. That's what he get. Everyone is throwing out different ones. I thought it was Triton and Nirvana.
That's so exceptionally rude. I love it.
I don't know which one it is. None of the mage forge items are as good as the melee ones just because they only give basically good stats. You already have good stat sticks otherwise. I'm hearing Triton and Seraphim. Like, I know it's Triton for one of them, so Seraphim is the other one. Okay.
Looks like rhybon is going to take on this evil, or this plague. This evil eye. And there is another sparkle next door.
Yeah. The Triton is the one he shares with Palom, and that one's actually really nice because Fu doesn't have any of his own unique ones, he gets someone else's, which means that the Palom on this team, if we get the Triton dagger, can use that, and if he gets the Seraphim, I'm pretty sure that's the Porum weapon, and she can use that. So we don't have to use the Forge on this Fu. We can give it to one of those two. But yeah, another Lunar Sparkle. This will be our third Sparkle we've seen on the restream. And this D-Lunars. All right, so we still have the Nope Rope and our Wyvern out there.
Those will be fun to find on the moon. Or in Sealed Cave. That spot always is awful for Wyvern.
Yeah. Fortunately, with the Witchburn changes, it's much harder to land one of the super nasty spells that in a Sea Hero situation, if you didn't have a Cursed Ring, would be an instant wipe in some of those high agility locations. But we have a Cursed Ring, so even then, it wouldn't be the worst.
I hope it's Count.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Because that Count flies at that spot.
It does indeed. I personally like Retreat Wyvern. It's probably my favorite. Cubs is gonna retread some ground here. Gonna get his Legend Sword from these DMs. rhybon is gonna take down the Mom Bomb into the Pale Dim. He'll have the knowledge that 3 of the Lunar Sparkles are off the table. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes next. I guess he's got only Baron Key after this.
And our Sheila check.
You're right. Yeah, and Sheila 1 is all that we'll have available to us. But I want to take this moment to thank once again our restreamer Nyobari, our tracker Pumeria Knights. Thank you so much for the work you're doing behind the scenes. Also, shout outs to our runners, rhybon and Cubsrule. Give them a follow if you aren't already. Fantastic racers, fantastic streamers. Won't be disappointed. And shout outs to my co-commentator, Elisal. Fantastic friend, and I'm always love to be in the booth with you.
Absolutely. Shout outs to you too. It's been far too long.
It has been since ZZ3, I believe. So nearly a whole year since we've done comms together, and that is far too long. But also shout outs to Randomania for hosting us and partnering with us once again for Highway to the Zemus Zone 4.
And rhybon not taking down that Mom Bomb before the explode does lose, well, everyone.
Yeah, that was quite a lot. Such devastation. This was not my intention.
Zoe, please.
Yeah, someone's saying Wyvern at CPU with Medio. Not possible with Witchburn anymore. Medio's out of the pool, but it sounds like you're trying to solve a game of Clue. I will not keep 14 references out of here. I am progressing ooh, and I like it.
But Cub's getting his Baron Key. Gonna pick up, or gonna go check, or at least get the Sheila 1 check started. And we'll see if he goes and gets his other half of Forge in this the Summon Cave.
Yes, that word. Curious what Sheila's gonna have. Is she gonna have the goods tonight, or is she gonna have a vanilla pan? I wonder.
I hope it's another Cure 3.
Hey, take this. Oh, where do we get a pan from? Where did we get the pan from? From dwarf. Oh, okay. I missed the dwarf key item. Okay. So both runners being rewarded for doing dwarf first. Yeah, look, there's the pan right on rhybon's screen. Okay, cool. So now we have 2 checks plus Baron Castle. I always love it when the pan is around Luca's deck because it is the height of dwarven fashion.
Well, and then I think of that. I think of Tangled, where Rapunzel carries around a pan.
Cubs realizing, like, wait, I forgot to do something. Going to be real happy when he gets down there and pulls that adamant rock. Oh, yeah, Nurari. Remember that thing I was saying about the longer you go, the more likely you are to forget demist? I forgot demist. It just goes to show. Let's hope our runners don't.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than clearing literally everything else in the seed and being like, well, what do? But that hourglass too, pretty nice for the one sort of free boss we have left with the dolls.
Cub's going to peek these inner sparkles, hoping for Wyvern, and he's going to be disappointed finding Plague and D-Lunars. And the Triton Dagger. Cool. If I were rhybon, I'd be slapping that on Fu for now to get more powerful nukes, and then I would pivot that over to Palom later. Ooh, crystal rings.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice thing to buy. A couple of crystal, well, 4 crystal rings.
Yeah. Not quite enough for 4. Buys a life staff and 2 crystal rings. I don't hate it. Give a crystal ring to Rhea, give 1 probably to Palom, and then give that life staff to Borum. Yep. Heroin Road.
I think this party is well past heroin robes.
You're never too far past a heroin robe. rhybon sneaking enough money out to buy another cursed ring. Imagine that'll also go onto the Borum. So quite a bit of defensive power those crystal rings provide. The +5 agility, not super important when you have a cursed Fu as your anchor. So I do imagine that Triton Dagger is going right onto that Palom if we decide to curse up this Fu. Now, Cubs could sell that crystal sword and fund another crystal ring purchase.
And rhybon remembering that demist.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, what do we got here? Darkness.
That seems important.
It does seem very important. That now unlocks access to complete Cave Bahamut. So we are on a boss hunt for one of 2 bosses: defeat Wyvern or defeat Evil Wall. If I were rhybon, I would be hightailing it to Cave Bahamut to see if one of those 2 bosses was there, to know whether or not I'm in go mode. Answering question, chat: is the Triton Dagger new? No, Dagger is a Supersmith item. It's an item that we adapted over from Final Fantasy IV Advance back in 4.3, I want to say, is when that flag was introduced. And because Fu is our hero, it is one of his Supersmith items. And C Hero always means that Kukol will always reward you with a Supersmith item for your hero. That was a mouthful.
We've got a Sheila check. We've got a Luca key. And a magma key.
Well, that's gone. The Luca key is something that I personally kind of don't want to see right here. I just got the moon unlocked to me. I don't want this sealed cave to be looming over my head where if one of those two bosses is there, that my opponent gambles on it and puts me pretty far behind. For better or worse, the world is rhybon's oyster, and he needs to find one of two bosses. Was also the 10th key item, so double experience. Woo! Looks like going to Baron. I like this. You know it's a free fight in the Beigen spot, but there are two unknown bosses here in the Baron Throne and the Odin spot that you can get that are both relatively easy when you've got a nuking Fu and one-shot the Baron Throne boss, and the Odin spot is probably one of the lower hit point summon locations. I think maybe only the lower one might be the Asera spot.
Well, and also you're right here when you finish to set up your grind.
Yeah, if you wanna do a D machine grind and you prefer the Baron manip over the old school manip, you're right here for it. I personally still like the old school manip, but to each their own.
I'm not smart enough to read the old school manip. My brain just goes, lol, nope.
I wasn't smart enough to read the Baron manip for the beginning of ZZ3. The first time I did a D machine grind in ZZ3, I brute forced it, even though E Can't Run was on. I just kept resetting until I got it first encounter.
I've done that. Definitely done that.
Cubs gonna go raise the big whale. I wonder, do you go to the moon here and peek the moon Dais character, maybe hoping for a Cecil to utilize this crystal sword?
Absolutely.
But I do also like checking Cave Bahamut first. rhybon here is going to get two boss checks, yes, but Cubs could go look and find a Wyvern there in Cave Bahamut that maybe has something that's real easy and it's basically free. You can get through it. Evil Wall there is very bad news. It's a very punchy spot, and Evil Wall cheats and re-enters the queue basically immediately as if he were berserked. So very, very hard boss to fight there. Outside of having like a ribbon to get him to his crush phase and then just dodge all of the instant death attacks.
Let's hope for an evil wall there. I like misery.
Yeah, because then it would end up being a hard required location. Though I do still want a hard required LST, which in this case would mainly be something that leads into Earth Crystal with like one boss in Zot and then the other boss in like Magnes from a Twin Harp from there. It's very, very hard to do at this point, but still possible. Oh, it's Iridia. That's a dupe. All right.
Cecil, unfortunately not in this seed that we're going to find.
Well, we're about to get Baron Castle on rhybon's side.
Oh, that's true.
Another dupe. It's a Tella. Okay, another dupe. Or just putting Wyvern and Evil on LSD makes it a hard required LSD. That's true, no, Barry, and that's also the much easier way of doing it rather than overthinking it like me.
I kind of want some sort of silly chain that culminates in both bosses at Earth Crystal.
So Sand Ruby, Zot, and Jaina, the only character checks left. Correct. Earth Crystal, Zot. Yes. Those are the only ones left. I always forget one. I think that's right. Cubs is going to go peek this Cape Bahamut boss. Maybe we'll get double value. There's a Twin Harp on rhybon's side. So the Baron chain does continue. Could find the boss there. Could find a key item which leads to one of the bosses. Could still find the boss here in the Baron basement, and we wouldn't get music. and I would be a very sad cow.
And looks like Cubs is going to take on some King Ryus with that Siren.
Yeah. We do have an hourglass on Cubs' side. Not sure where we got it, but I know we have it, so there it is.
It was from our friends, the Sylphs.
Oh no! Double blitz on the hourglass user. Bad news for
gone.
Cubs. Finding out that, yeah, that's gone. And that was a Mylon variant on the Odin throne, so we're gonna get out of there. But speaking of sad cows, Allie, do you know what sound a sad cow makes?
What's that?
Hoo hoo. Thank you. I'll be here for the rest of the seed.
And looks like rhybon not taking any chances with that sealed cave holding something useful.
Yeah, gonna go peek the key item. Maybe it's Earth Crystal, and then maybe you peek the boss, see if it's something you need. I think worst case scenario here is that this is like Rat Tail, because you don't know if it's gonna unlock a boss spot immediately. Because both bosses could still be in Zot, and while you don't need the Earth Crystal to the Mag Sister spot, it's very, very high risk to just go peek that boss location, so most runners will not do it without the Earth Crystal in hand. And finally, you're gonna say, sorry.
Cubs gets the hourglass off this time and gonna go ahead and take down these King Ryus.
Yeah, no life glitch, unfortunately, so we will only be getting, let's see, 1, 2. It's 10 for Cubs as well. So we will be getting 90k from this fight, or not 90k, 130. I can't do math. Someone save me. 120k, thank you. Mario to my rescue. Oh, there's a ribbon. That ribbon could be useful if there's an evil wall in an acid location. Yeah, I think rhybon's thinking the same thing. Let's throw this on in case this evil wall is right here.
Evil wall and its vanilla location.
More likely than you think. Nope, it's no prob. Well, there's our last lunar boss. Cubs also looks like he knocked down his 2 Black Mage children, probably wanting to slingshot them, so we might see some D machines. That is a ha. That is actually not too bad. You can take that. The magic power in Cape Bahamut is very low. So if you can get a star rail up on your Foo, and you probably didn't actually need to do that. I think you have crystal rings. Anyway, you can get a star rail up on your Foo. You can hit him with a few fire 3s, and he will just drop. I really like this, Cubs. You're not going to get a key item from this, but you are going to set yourself up where if you do find either a boss back on the blue planet, that you wouldn't need to come back up here with the pass in hand, or if you find a boss in the LST, if you just wanted to dive there and look, then you could just go down to Z without needing to exit out of the LST. I like getting this out of the way.
And it looks like rhybon is going to follow Cubs up to the moon. Probably going to immediately check that Cave Bahamut. Nope, gonna give us a Crystal Dais check.
Yep, gonna see this Rydia here. Unfortunately. Maria mentioning saving as many star rails as possible for Foo and Friends, though. Foo and Friends with a Foo hero is so much more difficult.
And Cubs is still working on this Golbez. Not too bad, in a pretty good spot with 3 characters up.
Yep. Not too bad if we can get going for nukes here. They're faster to come out. I would probably be using Fire 3 because Golbez is weak to fire and it should be doing quad 9s here.
And you would get an extra one versus nuke.
Yeah, we have the stack of ether too, so I don't think the MP is that big of a deal. This is technically higher damage per second though, I suppose, just because it casts so much faster. Ba-ba-ba-ba. So thinking about it, between our Cape Bahamut objective and our 2 boss objectives here, we had like a trio of notably rude bosses in Wyvern, who is less rude under Witchburn, to be fair, but Golbez and Evil Wall.
Yeah, it's not a very nice seed to our runners.
No, not at all, but they're both doing very well. Both about to be 1 boss away from having the crystal in hand, assuming both of them can make it through this Golbez fight.
Oh no.
Oh, I think it has the cursed ring on Fu and has something that resists lightning, so absorb that lit 3. I don't think this Fu can die.
Well, that's good.
This Fu can't die. This is hilarious.
I'm sure Cubs is just like when his Tella and Porum went down, was like, oh, we're dead.
Yeah, they were crystal rings in the coal shop. That is amazing. That is the best Golbez fight I've ever seen from Cubs there. Holy moly. And it's only an Artemis bow, but we knew it wouldn't be a key item. But that is objective number 3 done for Cubsrule. 1 objective away from having crystal in hand. Just needs to find 1 of 2 bosses. Now, where do you go, Cubs? You got the Baron key. There's 2 bosses there. But you also have the LST that's right next door. And that is 5 bosses.
And rhybon's getting his Star Veils up. Should make short work of this Golbez. Does Cubs have the curse ring on Tella?
That's a good question. No, he sold one of his curse rings. It was on Fu. That's why that Sorkrobe curse ring was keeping him alive on Golbez.
That Tella just had that might have been his vitality stat. I can't read.
Reading is hard. Don't worry. We're here to talk, not read.
But Cub's going to make that dive down into the LST. We'll see if he just is face checking bosses.
Yeah. What I could see him doing here, face check bosses, try and find Wyvern Evil Wall. Set up your slingshot again, because Tella needs a few more levels to slingshot the Palom. And then if you can get your crystal, if you want to go do D-Machines, slingshot your Iridia and your Palom to nuke, and then you're set up for a perfect reflect strat, assuming you still have a Star Veil. If you don't, you're going to have to hardcast Wall, but you have both Fu and Tella to do it.
And looks like Cubs is going to do top down.
And there's Evil Wall. All right. This is a little nasty, as you can see, but if we can get maybe some blinks up, this spot should die to probably 4 nukes.
have no idea how much HP this spot has. That would require math.
I want to say it's like 20k, but as we've noticed earlier in the restream, I'm real bad at remembering my my boss HP chart.
Looks like Cubs is just going to try and out DPS the evil wall. Not going to do blinks or anything.
27k. I was only 5 off, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's probably 7 nukes. 6 nukes. 5 nukes. Math. Where's Scythe Marshal when I need him? And board AI strikes again. Maybe lower the battle speed just a bit. Turning on encounters. What are you doing? Oops, do you know something I don't?
Is he going to do the Baron Manip?
Is he doing the Baron Manip on the moon?
Is that allowed?
Yeah, no, you can do it anywhere. It's just you do it in Baron because it was designed to be done outside of Baron because E can't run was on. And so you would do it because you could easily kill the enemies because you couldn't run from them. So you can do it anywhere that you can take random encounters.
Today I learned. But you got to remember to turn encounters off. Did he turn encounters off?
I don't know. Pumeri pointing out that the important thing to know is that the encounter rate is different between areas. That is true. I think the Moon and Baron have the same. I think most of the overworld locations like have the same. I think it mainly matters in dungeons, but I could be wrong. Someone like Exodin or Wylam would be able to easily correct me if I am. Rhybon's going to the LSD. Are you going to find the evil wall as well, or are you going to go bottom up instead? Maybe Rhybon finds Wyvern, and maybe Wyvern has retreat, and Rhybon doesn't have to worry about that evil wall.
Or Venom. Venom's a funny one.
Or Venom. Or reaction.
But Rhybon is going bottomed up.
Yeah, gonna go bottom. So missing out on the evil wall, that could be bad. But also gonna take these gold dragons, which Cubs took in the Cave Bahamut. So if he wants to do this first, you can also take these right outside of the Paledom altar, where the evil wall is located. That is the same floor as Rhybon is currently standing on now. But then you're away from a save point, obviously. Did we lose our hourglass again?
Yeah.
So rude. So rude. Not coming in here with an RA1 setup is very, very rough for losing your hourglasses. Cubs is gonna peek the boss for doing. No? Oh, because if you peek the boss, you lose your minute. Right.
Well, this looks like the right encounter. We'll know for sure.
He's not resetting, so I assume he knows what he's doing. It looks like we did maybe get the hourglass off, but we lost the weak cast, so it's actually not too bad on Rhybon's side. Now, wouldn't it be funny if when Cubs is done with this, he peeks the element spot and finds Wyvern?
For Cubs, it would be funny. I'd feel real bad for Rhybon, though.
I would too, but at the same time, Rhybon is, assuming Rhybon clears going bottom up because there is still the Earth Crystal outstanding, Rhybon's going to get a nice chunk of experience. Now, it's not going to be slingshot into nuke worthy, but he could still get a decent amount of experience from these lower bosses.
Yay, it's a D machine. Yay, HP ran out. So I've thought many times that I've set up the Baron Manip correctly and gotten Horsemen, so I always worry.
Yep. They are... Baron Manip is a little tricky like that. I've definitely done the same thing. That's why I stick with the old method, even though the chart is more complicated. I understand it better. And that's just me being a slightly old fogey. Don't pay attention to the fact that I started playing shortly before the Baron Manip chart came out, and I don't think I did my first D-Machine grind until after it existed. That's not important. Ooh, Dark Elf. You like this? You have 2 weak casters. You can get them into the second phase. This is free.
And the magic power at this spot isn't terrible, so...
Yeah, no, not at all. Get out some Quakes, some Nukes. Just get him pushed across. You can hit him with a weak from either Tella or Fu, and then anything that does basically 9 damage will guarantee kill. Ooh. Bad timing on that Piggy, going out right before Palom hits Quake, and Piggy prevents you from casting any spells except for Piggy.
Well, that's no fun. I am surprised to see on Cup's side that he has taken down his mop and is using Tella as his weak caster.
I don't hate it. With the cursed ring that's presumably on this Fu, his accuracy for weak is going to be a bit lower than putting a Tella in the center with weak. So that's probably what it is, and just because Tella is RA1 whereas Fu would not be. You can get a very, very predictable and consistent turn order in this fashion. And it's easier to do menuing in turns with a 4-character party as opposed to a 5, in my opinion. And yes, Blue Cat Loach pointing out, also easy to keep Tella healed up than Fu. Very true, because those fires will be hitting Fu for considerably more than anybody else.
This Dark Elf still being a little bit mean and
There we go.
bullying Rhybon, but we do get into the correct phase.
Yeah, I think I heard a pirate that lost his change. Shoutouts to Dijon Ketchup for that joke. I will never not use it. Oh, there goes one weak caster. Okay. Gonna go ahead and stop this Dark Elf before things get even more out of hand. Ow.
That Dark Elf is a little angry.
Yeah. No talk him, he angry. Gonna get some life potions going here. Running rather low on life potions. We do have 3 people that know life, but 2 of them are dead, and one of them is low on MP, so looks like we're not interested in getting Tella any experience, so just finishing him off with a virus. 53,000 experience. Let's see what we got. I'd say Protect Ring. So Womp, if you were looking for a key item, Rhybon. See what's in the ribbon room. And with a nuke coming out, looks like Cubs is done his D-Machine grind. 547,000 experience. If we have a slingshot on both of those, the Paladin and the Rydia, that'll be nuke for both of them. And that means Evil Wall will be a pushover. I really want Cubs to peak the Elements boss, though. I really do.
We did not get nuke on that Palom.
Did not. I guess Palom was not quite in slingshot range. Oh, because he was already out of it and he wasn't able to kill the Evil Wall. That's right. Yeah, 5 levels away on Palom. But Element Spot does give good experience if you want to take it while you're here, Cubs. That should get you the rest of the way. And here we go. We're gonna go look at it. Don't be a Syrah. Just don't be a Syrah. We're fine. Oh, vanilla.
Well, ain't nobody got time for that.
Why warp next to the door? So warping next to the door, if you walk back through that door, if you want to do warping out, it would take you back into the elements room first, and you would have to cast an additional warp. Because these teleporter pads work slightly different than your normal return doors. So if you walked back to the save point and warp from there, you'd warp back to the elements room, you'd warp again back to the save point, and then you could start warping out. Yeah, that was really heads up to warp out of there to drop the save first.
But it looks like Cubs is satisfied. Hopefully we'll get enough XP to get Nuke on that Hallam. And gonna take out that evil wall.
Yeah. Take out the evil wall. What I could see him doing, what was in the ribbon room checks? I didn't even see. What I could see him doing would be to get the evil wall for the crystal, then maybe go down both tails. It was the tail room. Amazing. I'd see him go down, maybe take the ribbon room for the experience to push him over to Nuke if he needs it. I could absolutely see that. Because he probably doesn't want to go into Z without having Nuke on both Hallam and Rydia. It's amazing. A rat tail and a pink tail in one room. They have so many questions.
Well, the dolls just collect tails up there.
Yeah, and actually, come to think of it, the ribbon room with dolls gives a horrible amount of experience points. It's a really bad boss to be in the ribbon room, so never mind on that front. Hey, there's our wyvern. Okay.
That's required.
What do you got for us? What do you got for us? Fast. Okay.
I think that actually messes with his script, with his nukes.
I think it does. I think it makes the wall fall off faster than it's supposed to. So I think you can queue up a self nuke and it would fall off and the nuke would land. I think. But I could be completely wrong.
I know it does with slow.
Speed modifiers are a thing that mess up a lot of boss scripts, but particularly Wyvern. So this could be interesting. Cubs is going to have, as the grind done, is going to have Zeromus levels after this, getting the crystal. Rhybon is going to have the crystal, but not quite be to Zeromus levels, unless he wants to go for something like a Fu and Friends strategy, which is really rough when you can't buy Star Veils and your Fu is your anchor. It's difficult. It's doable. It's difficult.
That's so rude.
Yeah, that was. But this is exciting. So, Yubari, you called it hard required LST by virtue of the top and bottom being Evil Wall in Wyvern. So we got that here tonight, and seeing both runners find different required bosses is a treat.
This Wyvern fight is starting to get a little out of hand, though.
Yeah, I don't know if Rhybon has his Fu cursed. But either way, we don't do a ton of damage to them, especially when we can't nuke Wyvern effectively because of his wall. So we're really relying on this Palam's Quake, and it's only doing 2,500. It's going to take quite a few of those to take this down. But yes, do also want to remind people that rhybon stream is about 5.5 minutes behind, so he could very well be grinding on his way to getting Nuke as we speak. So this, even with the level difference right now, could be a much closer match than it appears to be.
And I am thinking that Fu is cursed.
And yeah, and Cubs, as far as the restream is concerned, first runner with a crystal in hand, has Z levels, has Nuke on 1, gets an Earth Crystal. You don't really like Stardust Rod would be the only thing that I'd want out of there, but we're also still a few levels away from Nuke on Palom. So what does Cubs do? Do you go in with just the one nuker? Because your Porum doesn't have white yet either. You're one level away on Porum. What's your thought here, Cubs? Exiting out, so not gonna go down and maybe try and get some more experience. Do you maybe go take a behemoth or two? Nuke can get through their magic defense. It doesn't do a ton, but it does damage them.
Nope. Looks like Cubs is heading back down to the earth.
You could do a couple doors, maybe? No, flying over to Troya. Looks like we're going in. Or are you going to check the treasury? Battle speed 3. Yeah, this is going in for Z. We're gonna nuke with Rydia, probably fire 3 or lit 3 or ice 3, just a level 3 spell with Palom. And we're gonna try and force it here.
I think we're supposed to ask a question.
Oh, goodness, you're right. What is it? Sea flags. Put down the flags. They're not helping me. They're distracting me. They're not useful. Thank you. But seriously, thank you for the flags. It is whose butt are we kicking tonight?
And of course, is butt cute?
Is butt cute? Correct. It's very rare that butt is not cute unless it is specifically Moonimus. Baka knows exactly why.
Does Moonimus even have a butt?
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about Moonimus anymore at all. I think we're out of life potions on rhybon's side.
Yeah, I think rhybon's in trouble.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep, there's a reset. Ouch, that was a lot of time. That hurts. Oh, Fu. Yeah, Fu's cursed. So the agility was fine. Just doesn't really have the damage. Gonna do the tried and true. Grind out some random encounters in the LST. Finds a King Ryu fight right off the bat. But the crystal has been tossed on Cubs' side. Zeromus is doing his hangry noises. Aw! And it's Boomus.
I think this is the part where I go, Zoe?
Super Mario World. Oh, no, Possum, no! It took me a second, no! Possum said no ghosts. I want a refund.
Possum still getting you from here.
No.
I love it.
Possum, no! Scala, no! I can't believe this happened.
This was the best timeline.
Best timeline for you, maybe. But segue back. Let's see which of these runners is the best timeline for. Got the first Big Bang coming out. It was nerfed, and We'll see if we can outrace the second Big Bang, or if we're going to try and nerf it.
And meanwhile, rhybon is taking some more random encounters. Just wants to get a little bit more power on those children.
Absolutely. And once again, a reminder that rhybon is about 5.5 minutes behind on the restream. So even if we see Cubs finish first, we will not know confirmed that he is the victor, I guess, until about 5.5 minutes have passed. We could obviously find out. Our restreamer could tell us because everyone's on a 15-minute delay, but we don't want to spoil y'all for what's happening on rhybon's side. So we'll find out when we get there.
But it does look like either that cursed foo is doing lots of damage or that foo ain't cursed.
Yeah, that's, I think, let's see. I think we have a ninja hat. Yeah, Cubs found the ninja hat at the very early game. We could have ninja hat crystal ring on this food to be 28 agility, and that would be good enough. Yes, possum. Yes. Ali did the Zoe call in my ear.
But we see another Big Bang come out.
Let's see. That was not nerfed. But fortunately the 3 important characters survived. But unfortunately, there's the crystal that was trying to nerf it, and we're gonna get a counter nuke. Ow! Well, I guess that's the one that didn't have nuke, so that could have gone worse. Yeah, we found an Asura summon somewhere.
Cub sold it.
Cub sold it. Okay. Yeah, at this point, I think we were just trying to outrace the next Big Bang with nukes from Boo and Redia. It very well may work. We need to make sure we have like at least 4 or 5 hit points at the very end, so we don't lose to the Big Bang sap. Oh, there's Shake. Oh, we only have Virus. Oh no. There will not be rocks in a reflex strategy, Keladorn. Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, Zeromus 1, Cubs 0. This is the risk you take when you come in here without the second nuker. Okay, now we're going the Ninja Crystal Ring route. So he was a cursed foo. He just had the Triton Dagger on. So Triton Dagger is Palom only, unfortunately. So it's the one that doesn't have nuke. So it looks like we're going to stick it back on foo. We're going to try again. This will make it worse. This will make it worse in turn order, but foo will be doing more damage. So if you can nerf correctly, this will be fine. Could also equip that Artemis bow to Rydia and then swap it out mid-fight. You'll keep the plus agility, which will make her faster, but you will be able to ditch the minus to the magic stats because the RA is calculated at the beginning of the battle, whereas the item stats like Wisdom and Will are calculated in battle. Let's go for a rematch with Boomus. Meanwhile, rhybon is still grinding some random encounters, trying to get presumably to nuke on Rydia and the Palom.
There's weak.
There's weak. Means we're getting close. Yeah, I believe that when Cubs was doing Steam Machine Grind, he failed to realize that Palom was not getting Slingshot, which is why he ended up slightly short there. A completely understandable mistake. I've made that mistake a number of times, uh, both in practice and in high stakes matches. So,
Yep. Sometimes you just don't realize, and then, you know, you make those little mistakes, and it's just not worth the time to reset.
yeah.
At least he remembered to make sure all his characters were resurrected before finishing the fight.
Yeah. I think what was really unfortunate for Cubs was that Elements was vanilla. If that had been any boss that only had one form or one phase, um, it's capped at having 65,000 hit points. But because it is a vanilla spot, it can get the refill, so it can have its full 100k. You could reflect through that refill, absolutely. But it's unfortunate that it wasn't something a bit easier.
But rhybon is looking like he is ready to take on this wyvern.
Yep. Looks like got Nuke and White. Probably means we don't have Nuke on Rydia since her experience curve is much lower. Yeah, looking at that HP, I don't think she's quite there. Yeah, not quite. But with this spot, might push her over. The Poke Poke spot is definitely no slouch in the experience report.
Well, and with those high-level nuke and white casts, I don't think this wyvern is going to be long for this world.
Yeah, if we can get a lot of them out before the wall goes up, should be in real good shape. While Cubs is making it through, got through the first big bang. Ella barely hanging on, but gets the Cure 3 off. Keep him alive, because I believe that is who has the Starveil up for Cubs. So that's who everyone's getting their spells bounced off of. And we'll see. Keep in mind, rhybon, once again, 5.5 minutes behind on restream. The stream is delayed even further. So very well could be in his Romus fight right now. Very well could be just about done as well. So this could be a very, very close fight, and we just won't know for a little bit longer.
But Cubs throwing out those nukes, and with that Fusoya not cursed, it's like 8-9k.
Was that 88 damage?
Maybe.
I'm kind of impressed.
But rhybon has gotten through that wyvern and will get his crystal.
Oh man, this swag walk it, rhybon, come on. Swag walk down. Got the nuke on Rydia. You got nuke White. You got a Fu. Just swag walk it. Bacchus wine. That's kind of a insult at this point. The Big Bang coming out. That was not nerfed. Ow. And that's a reset. Oh man. Oh man.
This is getting close.
Yeah. Not having nuke on this Palom is turning out to be a big deal. If rhybon one-shots Zeromus, when we factor in the delay, and I'm a broken record when it comes to it, I just want to keep people in mind because this is very hype. I know we're all on the edge of our seats. I think this could be rhybon's race to lose.
Well, if rhybon doesn't one-shot it, it is rhybon's race to lose because he would have to do that wyvern all over again.
Oh, he's swag walking. We swag walking. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Rhybon says, no, I don't have any time for this. I took too long with my grind. I gotta go. There's no time to save. All right, here we go. Round 3 with Boomus on Cubs side. Round 1 on rhybon. Both these runners, I have to imagine, are a bundle of nerves. So this is going to come down to probably who can just calm those nerves the most. Both of them do have a setup that can get through Zeromus. rhybon does have the better one, but Cubs is doable. I've done it before. I've seen people do it before. I know Cubs is capable. Yeah, this is like rhybon behind from taking that long wipe to the Wyvern and having to do that slow random encounter grind. Cubs behind 2 Zeromus wipes. I'm sure both these runners at this point are like, where was the dot done? How have I not lost?
And as long as these runners can get their nukes out properly, hopefully we won't see any more giant big bangs like we've seen.
And rhybon with the really nice party setup doesn't have the silk web that we found in Mist Cave real early on. That was something only Cubs found, but got the nuke coming out, has a white queued up with Porum, Starveil with Palom. Tell is queuing up a manual slow. I imagine we'll see a second slow queued up with that Tella later, reflected off of the Palom to avoid a second counter nuke, but get that second stack on. Yeah, and with 3 nukes and 1 white coming out, it's be a lot of damage. Iridia may die. This Iridia died. Okay. Life 2. There we go.
We sort of need that Rydia.
Yep, she is 1/3 of our nukes. I think rhybon might be on battle speed 1, which is real bad for reflex strats.
Oh boy.
Thing. This will be nerfed. We got the slow out, right? Yeah, because Riddy took the counter nuke, so yeah, that'll be fine. With the really tight menuing here, we should be able to get enough cast out to kill before the second big bang. Just can't drop any inputs. No mismenus.
This is terrifying.
There's the second slow reflected off of Palom. Okay. Okay. I want to preface this with saying rhybon knows what he's doing. I would have gone for a nuke with Fu here and not this Cure 4, because at this point I would say I'm not trusting my party to live through a second Big Bang. I'm trying to beat the second Big Bang. But rhybon may be keeping track of the damage and maybe knows he can't outrace it and wants to raise his chances of survival.
Of course, that Fu is pretty nerfed, so
Yeah.
not a great thing.
Well, there was a mismenu. Went to the item menu instead of the spells for Rydia. We've seen the shake. Can we get enough damage before the Big Bang? There's a white coming out. I think if Rydia lands this nuke, I think rhybon has it. He has it anyway. Woo! There's a crack, a bang, a boom, a dissolve, and rhybon has finished. Yobari, you put it on the wrong side. There we go. With an official race spot time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 10 seconds. GG's to rhybon. Sorry for keeping you an extra 5 minutes before the interview, but I heard you badunk into the room. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. How about you, Allie?
I'm doing great. That was definitely scary to watch there at the end.
Yeah. What were you thinking after that long wipe to Wyvern?
I was thinking that I lost, but I normally keep the Discord room down. I don't actually see who wins and who loses at what particular time, so I figured, well, I have to keep on going because there's always a chance that I could actually come back from this. But Yeah, I felt like I had lost so much time on that wyvern fight that pretty much all hope was gone.
Yeah, I feel I raced very much the same way. I do not look at the room, so I always assume that I still have a chance. I don't want to think about it, and it worked out well. You very quickly decided, let's do some random encounters, let's get our spells, let's kill the wyvern, and you swag walked, which was huge. I imagine you did that because you were like, any small bit of time, I need to save right now. Is that why you swag walked?
Absolutely. At that point, I'm like, well, if there's any chance of me actually winning this, it's going to be by seconds, probably. So let's just go, and really it shouldn't be too difficult against V. I have, 2 new casters. I have a white caster. Actually, I have 3 new casters, but, 2 of them doing a whole lot for me by that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. This will be a fun one for you to watch back. Cubs has just finished on our restream with a time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 23 seconds. So GG's to Cubs. We'll get him in after this if he would like to. But yeah, what happened, I don't know if y'all have talked about it in the race room at all, is Cubs went to the top of the LST, found Evil Wall at the Paladin spot, decided to go do D machines, and I'm not sure if he miscalculated or didn't realize Palom wasn't getting slingshot, but missed getting nuke on his Palom, and went straight to Zeromus and took 2 wipes just to things being slightly scuffed because of that. And that really, those 2 wipes looked to be about the 7-minute difference. If he had got it his first try, he'd probably have a very similar time to you. But yeah, very, very tight race all around, and real exciting on the restream with that additional delay. Y'all were still both in it right up until the end.
Yeah, Cubs definitely had a rough part. I mean, we were talking about it in the post race, and yeah, the 2 Z wipes are really unfortunate. He had me dead to rights, and I think if we played this again, he easily beats me by 10-15 minutes.
Well, rando's gonna rando sometimes, and that's just the way it plays out. But GG's, you're up 1 game. 1 more game, and you'll be moving on to the round of 32, and you'll be getting next week off, while the other half of the bracket plays their round of 64 matches. How are you feeling now? You just need to win 1 of 2 and move on, and this is your first tournament with us, right?
Yep, this was actually my first 1v1 tournament restream, or actually 1v1 tournament race ever. So a little bit of nerves beforehand too, but yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, well, you killed it all throughout qualifiers. You killed it through the Pink Puff League. Definitely a standout of that club. I'm sure Oscar's proud, and I'm happy to see you doing so well. It's great to see new faces doing well, and see people just rising up and doing their best to reach for some of these top echelon runners and knock them down a peg. So hopefully, maybe later in the tournament, we can see you versus Pankraz and see what happens there.
Oh yeah, if I make it all the way to the championship game, sure.
Yeah.
I would hope to give it a shot.
Hey, you got the skills for it. I believe in you.
Oh, I mean maybe, but I'm sure there's Dekar, Smash, PK, everyone else probably has something to say about that. So I'll do my best for it.
Well, that's all it takes. Ali, I've been hogging the mic. Do you have any questions or comments?
Just when is your next match?
I believe we are scheduled for Friday at 6 p.m. right now.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing that race. We'll see if it gets restreamed. If not, we can always watch it on the Khadgar. But GG's once again, and best of luck in game 2.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and thanks everybody, Plumeria, Zoe, Neobari, Ellie, for everything that you've done, and see you around. Take it easy.
Take it easy. And I heard that familiar Discord noise. I believe we're joined by Cubs. GG's Cubs.
GG, thank you.
Bit of a rough one there at the end.
It was just a hair late on the nerf timing the first time, or I think I get through that one. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I think so too. So I have 1 comment and 1 question. I'm gonna leave with the question, which is your D machine grind.
Yes.
Was it a miscalculation, or did you not realize Palom wasn't getting slingshot?
Neither. I cut it off early because I just thought I was so far behind. I thought I had to take a shot.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. That's a play that I would defend any day of the week.
Yeah. Looking back, 1 or 2 more to get. I was trying to set up the slingshot off of Palom off of Golbez, but he took Tella out right at the end, so it was just a bit off.
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to trying to make up time, and I thought I might be able to sneak in enough damage with Fu and Rydia and a few viruses from Palom, but just not quite.
Yeah, you almost had it. It was real close, and it'll be exciting to see what happens in game 2. My one comment though is, holy moly, that Golbez fight with the immortal Fu.
I'll be honest, I forgot I cursed him going into that, so I'm just like, damn it. Oh, okay, I'm good. So, thank you.
Yeah, so I saw the lit 3 hit, and I was like, okay, well, it means he's got a curse ring. What is? Oh, the Sork robe resists lightning, and then I saw
Yes.
the damage from the virus and the fire come out, and I was like, oh, this Fu can't die.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like, oh, no, I'm fine. Do I want to try to get Tella back up for the slingshot? Nah, screw it, just go.
That was probably the most exciting Golbez I think I've ever seen, just with an invincible Fu. But yeah, the 2 wipes were rough, but we've all been there, and by we all I mean I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
But I still think you've got a good chance here. You made it to the brackets. You clearly know what you're doing, and I think next time rhybon will have a tough time trying to 2-0 you. So how you feeling going forward, needing to take 2 games in a row?
Well, I was fully expecting to be 2-0'd, so if I come up with 1 win, I'll be happy. My entire goal was, after Lollyho, was just to make the bracket, so I've already reached that. No, all I can ask for is that I was in with a shot against someone of rhybon's caliber. We traded traded a little back and forth with Pink Puff. I think I snagged 1 win off of him the whole time, but he is incredibly good, and I'm just to be in it with a shot at the end is all I could have asked for coming into this.
Yeah, you 2 were 2 of the standouts from the Pink Puff League, and I'm over the moon that both of you are here and facing each other. Put on a good show tonight, and we look forward to seeing a good show in game 2, even if it's not restreamed. I know I will be watching on the Khadgar. And rhybon said that is Friday at 6. Is that right?
Yes. Don't think we have a game 3 scheduled yet, but game 2 is 6 p.m. Eastern Friday, yeah.
Awesome. Once again, Ellie, I am such a mycog. I'll hand it over to you.
Just wanted to say GG's. Zoe covered most of my questions. And we really look forward to seeing your game 2.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you both of you, Allie and Zoe, for comms, Plumeria for tracking, Neobari for the restream. I was thrilled to even just be here in brackets. Thank you very much, everybody. Looking forward to game 2.
So we look forward to it as well. Well, that has been it. That'll be it from us tonight. That's how that sentence works. Yeah, let's go with it. I'm checking. I have a ping. Where are we going for a raid? We're gonna head on over to RM4, Randomania 4, which has Dakar Smash versus Luf, match 1. See if I can I send off that raid?
But before we send you off, we just want to say thanks again to our behind-the-scenes staff, Neobari and Plumeria Knight. Thank you to our runners for letting us restream them. Give them a follow. And thank you to my co-commentator, Zoe Vermillion. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be with you too. And I just dropped a link in chat to the ZZ4 website. It's basically the same as it was for Lollyho League. So if you want to keep track of the scheduled times for matches, you can check those out there. You can see what's on the slate for tomorrow, or in the Discord, the League Matches channel. We update at the end of every night with the matches for the next day. But go enjoy the race on Randomania 4. Do not spoil this race for those that like to go back and watch the VODs. Be courteous to your fellow Free Enterprise enthusiasts, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.